Chorus Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus, a fresh approach to community service. Settle in, listen in, and enjoy the voices who bring you reflections, musings, and stories from our community.
So welcome to this episode of Chorus Voices, the Chorus podcast. I'm Dan Minchin, the CEO of Chorus.
And I'm Lou Forster, Head of Brand and People at Chorus.
So today, Lou, we're going to have a chat about something that you and I have really come to understand and love about the Chorus service offering, which is in the mental health space. And the Chorus philosophy around mental health is to very much focus on recovery and the belief that people living with mental health issues can and do and often do get better. And in fact, that all of us kind of live on a continuum of varying levels of mental health over the course of our life, which is a really powerful way of thinking about a problem and a challenge, and particularly something about mental health that has, historically been a bit of a taboo and is these days much more commonly spoken about.
Absolutely. And you were down in Bunbury recently?
Yeah, I've had a chat with Jerry Caruana, who's the manager down at Bunbury, and he speaks much more eloquently about the recovery philosophy than I do.
Hi, Jerry Caruana from Bunbury Mental Health Services, Chorus.
And why don't you tell us a bit about the mental health recovery philosophy as you interpret it?
Sure. So the philosophy of mental health recovery is that people can and do recover from mental illness, and mental illness is something that can impact anybody at any time. So although today we might be helping a client, a person who requires supports, tomorrow that might be one of us that needs those same supports. And that's the way we approach it, is that we don't treat anybody differently. We treat everybody the same. We value everybody that walks through that door, whether they're a person that's struggling with a mental health condition, or whether it's the CEO. It doesn't matter who walks through the door. We greet them and welcome them the same, and treat them with respect and value their life experience and what they have to teach us, because we learn from every one of our clients. We constantly get feedback from clients as to the difference that the programs have made in their life. Numerous examples. I mean, we recorded some of these examples a couple of years ago on video because we wanted to try and capture some of the positive impact that have been made on people's lives. And I'll talk a little bit collectively first, but then maybe I'll give you a couple of specifics. But collectively, people have said to us that they do feel valued, they feel listened to, they feel equal, so they don't come to us feeling like they are the patient, if you like. As they've indicated, when they go into the medical realm, sometimes they feel that there's this hierarchical situation where they're sitting across the table from somebody that is better than them and they're less in some way. So people feel valued and treated well. And in that in itself helps a person to develop a better self-esteem, better belief in themselves. So they've also indicated that we give them a sense of hope, which is really important in the mental health realm, because people want to know that there is a possibility, a strong possibility, that they can make a recovery. And as I say, people do. And what is recovery? I mean, recovery is different to everybody. It's something else we have to embrace, is that it's not our idea of what recovery looks like, it's what their interpretation of recovery is. So for one person, it might be building the confidence to be able to leave their house and walk outside to the letterbox and collect the mail. To another person, it might be reconnecting with their social groups and getting out to the cafes again and socialising. For somebody else, it might be gaining employment. And people we've supported in one way or another have achieved all of those things. We've had stories of people who literally were housebound, who wouldn't leave their house, who just didn't have the confidence to leave their house or the motivation to leave because of the way they were feeling. And to be able to slowly and gradually expose that person to social situations with support, to the point where they felt comfortable getting out of the house, they felt comfortable sitting in a cafe, and ultimately felt comfortable gaining some volunteer work or some part-time work. And I'm thinking of a particular lady who was in that scenario who now has a full-time position, working here in town. A very different person to what she was when we met her. And we see that time and time again. So the philosophy really is that, if we treat people well, if we hold hope for them, sometimes a hope that they don't hold for themselves, if we believe in them and we present opportunities and options and allow them to make choices, then people progress really well.
Yeah, so like I said, Jerry really does talk really compellingly about this topic, and I really love that mindset, which is we walk alongside of people on their journey. One program in particular is called FAMS, Lou. Now, what is FAMS?
FAMS, not F, but PHAMS. So that's the Personal Helpers and Mentors program. And we run that in a few areas. But I recently went down to Mandurah and spoke to a couple of our mentors who work with groups, quite younger people over 16, but they're on that mental health journey, and really find that being in a part of a group with other people on a journey and with a mentor walking alongside them and guiding them in a few of the programs that we kind of run has been really helpful for them.
I'm Jess, and I coordinate the Animating X youth group at Chorus in Mandurah.
Fantastic. So tell me a bit more about this youth group and then who comes along to it.
Yeah, so our customers who are aged between 16 and 24, who are on their mental health recovery journey, come along and it just promotes social inclusion.
And what sorts of things does the group do?
So far we've gone to the Maritime Museum in Fremantle. We're going to Rebound. We've gone...
What's Rebound?
So it's indoor trampolining place.
Oh, really?
We're going there next week, yes.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. What else have we done? We've gone out bushwalking, gone to Lane Pool Reserve. Just fun.
Are these things testing your talents in trampolining and bushwalking too?
Yes. I enjoy it though. No injuries so far, touch wood.
That's good. So what sorts of things would you do normally outside? Are these activities that you would generally do yourself?
Yeah, it's stuff that I enjoy, which is helpful, and things that I've done before, so I don't come in blind. I can teach them a few things, and it's more about just them having a go, really. Yeah.
So how do you come up with planning? Is it collaborative with the group about what things they want to do?
Yep, so at the beginning of the year we all meet and we have a planning session where we just scribble some ideas down, and then come up with a time frame of when we're going to do what, and we try and make it empower them to make decisions about what activities they would like to do or not do.
Now, are these activities kind of different to what they would normally do?
Yeah, so some individuals either can't afford it or they have social anxiety. It's just something that's way out of their comfort zone. So it's just about them being in a safe environment where they can experience those things and have some fun, hopefully.
Yeah. What sorts of feedback have you had about the experience for the participants?
Yeah, we've had some really good feedback, particularly when we went to Adventure World. We had one client that is just something that him and his family had never been able to do. So that was, something that he will cherish forever, he said.
That's good. And what do you get out of it?
Oh, I get a lot of satisfaction out of it. Apart from having a lot of fun, it's also good just to watch the change in the people. So they may come to youth group that day in quite a down mood, and it's nice to be able to witness them interacting with the other people and watching their moods lift, and just seeing them relax and be comfortable with the other participants, make some friends. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I must say, I reckon you got one of the best jobs in chorus.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. No complaints.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks for the chat, Jess.
No problem.
So I had a lovely chat with Jess, and she's certainly full of life. And
she sounds like she gets a lot out of it, doesn't
really
she?
Does, yeah. Which I think really embodies the whole walking alongside, because it's not about someone doing to somebody else or someone having more power in the relationship. It really just is about people spending time together, doing stuff, and all getting something out of it, which is, I really love that.
And we have stories like that across the whole organisation. So you also had a chat with Rebecca.
Rebecca, yes, very lively Rebecca. She does some fantastic work. Really impressed with her approach and very lateral thinking. She's brought together some ideas that she's had over working a number of years. She worked on a food program a few years ago and then identified a need. I just love that way of thinking. So I had a really good chat with Rebecca.
And it sort of sounds like being all in and being very authentic and then maybe lateral thinking are a couple of qualities that make you great in this space.
And very much our values. Rebecca totally rolls up her sleeves and just gets on with the job. I love that.
Let's hear from her.
My name's Rebecca and I'm a mental health recovery worker in Mandurah.
Thanks for coming in to chat, Rebecca.
No worries.
So what does a week in your world look like? Yeah.
Well, every week is different. It's never the same thing. I could be taking people to see the doctor to help them sort of work on their recovery, or I could be just going for a coffee, or I could be racing around going to hospitals. It's completely different every week.
Now, Kaylee was telling me about the You Cook program that you coordinate. Tell us a bit more about that and what are the goals?
So some clients identified that they sort of had no cooking skills, and I did some training a couple of years ago with the food bank, how to deliver a program around cooking with limited resources, cheap, quick, fast, easy. So alternatives to fast food, basically, but was healthy and nutritious. So I took that training that I'd done and sort of developed a new program for us to do here. We don't have a kitchen here. We do have a sink. So we purchased some convection ovens and some frying pans, and everything that we cook is with what resources we have. The guys also learn about, we've done reading food labels, we've done budgeting, goal planning, safety in the kitchen, that sort of stuff. And we cook something different and yummy every week. So
what sorts of meals do you cook?
Yeah, so we've made like pizza parcels, it's like a pastry with the pizza on the inside, balsamic beef salad, Vietnamese spring rolls.
Nice.
There's been a couple of other things. But
we might have to get some of these recipes and put them up online.
Yeah, they're really basic, like real easy recipes, and the guys love them. They get in groups. Nobody really knew each other before they started. They've formed some really good friendships and learning some really good skills, because we had a couple of people that lived basically on frozen meals. And we actually had one participant say the other day that he'd like to cook something and bring it in to share with everybody. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I say people that break bread together. It's a way of forming a relationship.
And we quite often sit afterwards and eat together and have a chat, and it's a real nice little social things for the guys to attend.
I really like the fact that some of these people didn't know each other before and they've developed relationships as a result of the group.
Yeah.
How important do you think informal supports are?
Oh, absolutely. We find a lot of our clients, customers who have who are socially isolated. They're the ones that are obviously suffering quite badly with depression or mental illnesses, and the social isolation is massive. They spend 99% of their time alone. They don't have family or friends, or so that little connection where they get to come in and meet like-minded people and do some activity with them, and they just really enjoy it, and it gives them something to look forward to every week. So we're actually running 4 programs over the period of the year, and they each last for 12 weeks. The whole group is called Collective Souls. We've done art therapy, we're doing cooking, we're doing music, and I think we're doing an upcycling project as well. So, yeah, it's just a weekly thing to come along and, yeah.
I love that. I think what I most like about it is that you had learnt a skill before and that the customers identified a need or a gap in knowledge or skills.
Yeah.
And those things organically came together and you've developed a program. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed.
So at Christmas time, we helped some clients get some food hampers, and as part of the food hamper was chicken pieces. And quite a few of my clients actually said to me, I don't know how to cook chicken. So I would spend a day in their house teaching them how to roast some chicken. And that's how it sort of came about. We just went, oh, well, quite a few people don't actually know how to cook, or something as simple as slicing up an onion. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. And yeah,
I suppose it is quite a skill and it's quite dangerous if you don't know how to do it with a knife.
absolutely. Yeah. And knowing what flavours to put together, and so the guys, they really love it. They really enjoy it. And you know, we have really good attendance, and
that's a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I love your work, Rebecca. Thank you very much for having a chat.
No worries. Thank you.
So one chorus customer, a gentleman called Jeremy, is in the group and works with Rebecca, and he had some lovely feedback for the work and what that means for him.
Yeah, my name's Jeremy. I come along to the FAMS program, and I've been here, 8 months now, something like that.
Thanks, Jeremy. So how has the FAMS program helped you?
It's brought order and structure to my life in a time when it was nothing but chaos. For example, I've got 2 groups I go to. One is a cooking course. I actually enjoy that, and also a men's group, which I think is very important because there's not a lot around these days. Anytime I have some hiccups at work or in my personal life, or I'm just having a really bad day, my support worker, Beck, she's there for me. And if Beck isn't available, I can speak to someone else here. And I find that very helpful.
So, look, there's been some great insight from Jeremy, who has been part of these programs for some time, and obviously getting a whole lot out of it. We've also heard today from Jess and Rebecca and Jerry, who are all voices across Chorus involved in this space of mental health support, mental health recovery work, which is really at the heart of what Chorus is on about, and enabling people to live the life they choose.
Absolutely. And I've been out and about on the road down in Albany and all over the place talking to people. This has really just scratched the surface on the work that we do with people who are on the mental health recovery journey, and not even perhaps with people that would identify as being on that journey, but mental health being a continuum. We all kind of have physical health and mental health, so there's a whole bunch more that we could talk about, I think, Dan.
And maybe we will.
Yes.
Sometime down the track.
Indeed. So this has been a good chat. I've loved hearing from our other voices, and thanks for coming in today.
Thanks, Louise. And that brings us to the end. Well, almost the end, because we might just leave it with the Chorus customer Jeremy to have the last word. So thanks very much for the conversation.
It's even been life-saving.
Thanks for listening to Chorus Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus. If you like our show and wanted to know more, check out our website at chorus.org.au. And please leave a review. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps others find us and enjoy the podcast as well. Join us next time for more inspiring stories and news from our community. Chorus, a fresh approach to community service.